Wow. Well, a big high five to about 5 people around you. Give them a big high five. Thank you so much for coming. Tell them thank you so much for coming. Well done, well done. You may kindly take your seats. You may kindly take your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Quick announcements, ladies and gentlemen. As we kick off, we have an arts exhibition on my right, your left. Arts exhibition. We also have FIDA Kenya, so immediately after our engagement, please check them out. Together with the Defenders Coalition, they have some good merchandise, so you don't want to live here without that. In the meantime, for the restrooms at the back, your right, your left, in case of any concerns, we have a team that is well set to guide you. Ladies and gentlemen, for the next less than 10 minutes, we'll have a timer to guide us through. Please, for the opening remarks.
He is a fearless champion for human rights and a beacon of hope for human rights defenders across Kenya and beyond. As chairperson of the Eastern Horn of Africa Human Rights Defenders Network, he tirelessly advocates for the safety, sustainability and empowerment of human rights defenders. His visionary leadership shines through in the creation of Haki Village, a transformative sanctuary for defenders of justice. Beyond boardrooms, his extraordinary fundraising efforts scaling iconic peaks like Mount Kenya and Mount Kilimanjaro symbolize his relentless commitment to building a world where human rights flourish. Please welcome the Executive Director of the Defenders Coalition, Kamau Ngugi.
Lele yo, lale yo, lale yo. I told you the danger of making a dictator is to give him those kind of accolades. You have to be very careful what you do. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, distinguished guests, honorable defenders of human rights, excellencies, high commissioners, honorable judge, karibuni, welcome. This is a very special day. It's the 9th Human Rights Defenders Award that we are going to honor and recognize very great people. Now, I want to say that defending human rights is not an easy job, and it's also not a paid job, except for a few people like me who are lucky to get a salary for coordinating people who are the forefront defending rights. But other people take their time just because they care about their communities. So on behalf of Defenders Coalition, which is the National Coalition of Human Rights Defenders in Kenya, and as co-chair of the Working Group on Human Rights Defenders, I welcome you to the 9th edition of the Human Rights Defenders Awards. This event comes at the conclusion of a 5-day academy of over 150 human rights defenders from across the country who have explored very important human rights topics like the use of technology, environmental justice, compliance, as well as wellness. They are available here to network with you as they also appeal to you to partner with them for better communities. Ladies and gentlemen, 9 years ago, the Human Rights Defenders Awards initiative was launched as an annual campaign to publicly honor and recognize the incredible work that is carried out by human rights defenders. This initiative, which was conceptualized by Defenders Coalition and embraced by the co-chair of the Human Rights Defenders Group, which is the Embassy of the Kingdom of Netherlands, and later by other missions, has been extremely busy bringing together and advocating for the supportive environment for people who defend human rights to be respected. And for this reason, we have consistently and continue to honor courage, innovation, and resilience of human rights defenders and other champions. I wish to extend my heartfelt thanks to each member of the Working Group of Human Rights Defenders for their unwavering dedication. Ladies and gentlemen, since 2016, when the Human Rights Defenders Awards were first celebrated, we reached out to the growing pool of past award winners from 2016 to 2023 for reflection and assessment of the impact of this initiative. We were hosted in Turkana County, which they say is the cradle of humankind, by one human rights defender, Blizan Were, who is a pioneer, upcoming Human Rights Defender of the Year award winner of 2016. Now, he took us to a facility called the Learning Lions, which is a technology hub, where youth are empowered to leverage the use of technology for economic resilience, where they successfully market their skills and products to global audiences. This initiative was birthed following the recognition of human rights work and the building of sustainable livelihoods that Were had done. Other past HRD award winners equally shared their amazing stories. For example, the 2020 upcoming Human Rights Defender of the Year award winner, Naira Abdallah, who is with us, continues to lead a powerful team called the Sisters for Justice Initiative for Muslim women who campaign for the rights of girls and women, particularly regarding legal rights and social justice. We will also meet members of the Social Justice Center's Traveling Theater, who were last year's winners of the HRD of the Year award. They have used very impactful storytelling to be able to talk about serious issues around governance, human rights, and accountability. I can also give the example of one, Willie Oemba, who has pioneered innovative civic education approaches using art that have earned him recognition, including as a Ford Foundation Fellow. All this is because of their recognition as a human rights defender and given their award, which has basically driven them to international recognition. These inspiring journeys showcase how the Human Rights Defender Awards motivate defenders to achieve even more in their human rights advocacy. The 2024 HRD Award comes at a time of serious affront on democracy, human rights, and the rule of law globally. Here at home, we have seen concerning spike in unlawful use of force and forced disappearances and extrajudicial killings against citizens that question state abuse of power, endemic corruption, and increased and concerning state of the economy. We have also witnessed increased use of technology surveillance for human rights defenders that has increased their risks offline and online. More human rights defenders were arrested and faced with trumped-up charges because of speaking truth to power. Distinguished delegates, despite these hardships, 2024 will actually go down in history of this country as the year that human rights defenders, and especially our youth, embraced their civic duty to demand that their country must be governed well. I wish to thank you and all out there for your unwavering commitment to justice. By honoring the extraordinary work of a few rights defenders here today, let this be recognized as symbolic of the many more who are not here, but have suffered injury, abduction, even death for defending human rights. Distinguished delegates, the Human Rights Defenders Award creates a rare safe space where activists can come together to celebrate, connect, and be recognized for their courage and dedication. I wish to thank the ambassador and the staff of the Embassy of Denmark for hosting us for second year at the Embassy of Denmark. We thank you for that. I also know that others in the past 8 years have also been part of this journey. We also want to recognize all of the ambassadors here who have also had the opportunity to host us. The Embassy of Denmark will soon pass on the stewardship to the next host for the 2025 and 2026 awards, in keeping with our tradition of peaceful transition, and I underline that. Each one of you is invited to have a copy of the HRD Awards booklet. It highlights the inspiring work of the 2024 HRD Awards nominees. It contains very inspiring and impactful stories that often remain unseen. I congratulate each one of the award winners. The 2024 HRD Award winners exemplify courage, innovation, resilience, and embodies our collective commitment to human rights for all. Congratulations to the winner. Finally, allow me to acknowledge my colleagues at the Defenders Coalition, the planning committee of the HRD working group, the development partners that continue to support our work, and above all, our fellow human rights defenders that have stood with us during all this time. I thank you. So at this time, I wish to hand over to our MC.
Thank you so much. A big round of applause, please. Up next, ladies and gentlemen.
With a wealth of experience spanning over 2 decades in diplomacy and global development, he exemplifies leadership rooted in service and impact. From his early roles at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Copenhagen to high-profile ambassadorial postings across Ethiopia, Benin and Nepal, he has championed humanitarian action, migration and regional cooperation with unwavering dedication. Please welcome the Royal Danish Embassy in Kenya, Ambassador Stefan Schornemann.
Maybe we just stop there. Right? It can only go down from that point. What of you? Good afternoon. Honorable Justice Samuel Mohuchi, Judge of the High Court, seasoned human rights champion, members of the Human Rights Awards jury, the Defenders Coalition, our co-chair of the Human Rights Defenders Working Group, and our co-host of this event, ambassadors, colleagues, high commissioners, UN resident coordinator, fellow development partners, outstanding human rights defenders, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. As it was said by Kamau, this is the second time we host you, and it is indeed a great honor for us. Now, the right to defend rights is fundamental. It enables individuals to express their opinions, to peacefully protest, to access information, and to form associations. It is a right that empowers citizens to seek justice when their rights are violated, ensuring that their voices are heard and their dignity respected. Today we highlight the vital work of human rights defenders in Kenya. We salute their courage, passion, and dedication. You inspire all of us. Today also marks the International Day for Women Human Rights Defenders. These women lead the fight against discrimination and inequality. They do it at great risk. Their bravery is a reminder of the power of determination and resilience. Well done. This year, Kenya's election to the United Nations Human Rights Council represents a significant opportunity to build on the country's constitutional commitment to human rights. Denmark is proud to be a partner with both state and non-state actors to advance human rights for all. But as we move forward, let us remember that our shared values, democracy, justice, freedom of expression, protecting the rights of women, girls, and minorities, they are not just ideals. They are the building blocks of a better future for all. Denmark is deeply committed to these values, and together we will be working for a society where every individual can live with dignity and freedom. Now, before I conclude, as Kamau mentioned, it's been quite an eventful year in Kenya since we hosted you last here at the embassy. We have seen events unfold that caused serious concern for you as human rights defenders, for us as partners and diplomatic missions. We stand with you. We hear your strong voice. Today is about celebrating your courage. Now get ready to make some noise, because now I will once again welcome you to the Human Rights Defenders Award 2024.
Another beautiful round of applause. Thank you so much for hosting us. We celebrate you, dear Ambassador. Ladies and gentlemen, awards are there, but they also must be earned. So to guide us through the whole process in appreciating all those who will be awarded, but before that, those who have been awarded before, please welcome.
She is a true Shujaa Mtaani, a beacon of hope, resilience and empowerment from Mathare informal settlements in Nairobi. As a feminist, community organizer and human rights defender, she has transformed challenges into opportunities for communal solidarity. Beyond food aid, she champions menstrual hygiene by providing sanitary products to women and girls and supports survivors of gender-based violence. Please welcome Rachel Mwikali.
Whoa, welcome, 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 welcome. The jury panel's chairperson.
Forwards, comrades, power. diplomatic missions, all the protocol observed. Habari za jioni. Habari za jioni. I hope I'm audible. And I know I can't disappoint my people from our own movement. I know people are saying, you say pussy power. Definitely pussy power. Viva, comrades, viva! And some of this language that we use also for the public is because there's power in innovation in creating conversation that liberates us as women and as feminists. It's such an honor serving with amazing activist feminists that I'll call on stage. I'd like to call on stage Commander Mosheke from the Kenya National Human Rights Commission. I'd like to call on stage Grace Lolim from Isiolo Gender Watch. I'd like to call on stage my sister from Turkana, Ikal Ingele. I'd like to call on stage Andrew if he's around. And for the other judging members, they would have loved to be here, but they are not able because of other commitment. But I'd like to mention them. That is our comrade mentor, Dr. William Tunga. We have also Gato, who does a lot of cartoonist work, and we have also Jerry Kabeberi. Why am I calling them here? This work is not easy. We cannot do it alone. It has been a tough year for most of us who are on the front line. It has been a tough year in making these decisions that are very important, from the killing of women, what we call femicide. And I'm happy to see you there, Kumba, also for believing in the Kenyan women and resourcing from the Hewlett Foundation on End Femicides. I would also want to acknowledge the role the youth have played in this country, including myself. We are all youth, the G and Z, and the millennial, but also affirming that it's every generation that played a critical role to ensure that we're able to reject the finance bill. Thank you, Kenyans. For us being a judging panel, what we value is looking at the intersectionality of Kenya and the face of Kenya. We don't just give award for the sake of giving awards. We love to give award for the meaning to ensure that the award make impactful or play a very big role when it comes to civic space. We have seen most of us, our comrades also being abducted in our country for standing for truth. We have seen women being murdered in Kware, and when we were murdered, or when we went to speak out, there's been a lot of threats targeting women. And being International Women Human Rights Defenders Day, I dedicate this day to all the women human rights defenders who stand on the forefront to ensure that all of us are safe. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We see you, we affirm you. I'd like also to encourage the role business and human rights has played in this space. We can't talk business without talking human rights. So it means for all the business that exists in this country, you have to work with human rights defenders. Because at the end of the day, we are also the people who will work with you. So all the important work that needs to be invested, we have to invest also in the human rights defenders. We can't run away from resourcing protection and safety of human rights defenders. I'd like also to talk about the importance of global solidarity and collaborative. We have seen what has happened to this country, and also affirming you, Sister Jessica from Ford Foundation, that the people who have really come to work with us are being targeted. And if they are being targeted, it's a collaborative work to ensure we protect each other, to ensure that we're able to work together and support each other. Because at the end of the day, it's about our lives. The work we do, we don't just do it for people, we do it also for ourselves. Would like from the jury side recognize the role feminist action has played in this country. We also, from the End Femicide March in this country to the G&Z movement, the people who were in the forefront were women, young women, youth. This is very key when it comes to ensuring that we're able to instrumentalize and support feminists and young women who have been able to stand with us. And for this reason, I would like to say that as jury, we value the role of solidarity. And when I mean solidarity, authentic solidarity. From protection perspective, to resourcing perspective, to opening even doors, and to being with us in spaces, because this is really a tough job. I would like also to add that as a jury, there were movements that were nominated And this is a very interesting one. And we acknowledge for those who are in the feminist space and social movements. Movements play a very big role in the struggle. We don't do our work based on program or silos. We are very intersectional. We acknowledge our strength. We acknowledge our power, our diversity, even conflict. Because also conflict, that is more, we call it in the movement, sharpening contradiction, strengthen us. And to this level as a jury, we made our own decision to recognize the role the GNZ movement have done in this country, and we request you clap for the GNZ movement. As a movement, and also the judging panel, we recognize the role the End Femicide movement has played in this country. And to this, from the jury side and to the movement, 100 million is not worth our life. We are scared as women human rights defenders. We are scared as youth. We are scared even dating, which we shouldn't be scared because of our safety. We are scared of defending every right because we don't know when we defend people's rights, we are going to be criminalized, we are going to be killed. We are scared of being lovers of love, and we want to be lovers of love because the people who murder us are our husbands, our boyfriends. And that's why collectively, and this to the End Femicide movement, keep on pushing until we are all free. Keep on pushing. As I close, we can't run away the role youth play. And also, as I stand here, I know I also serve in the capacity of the Youth Sounding Board of the Royal Danish Embassy and the Ministry of Development Cooperation. It's our call to action also with the diplomatic mission. Stand with Kenyans. Stand with women of Kenya. Stand with gender non-conforming people. We are seeing the rise of religious fundamentalists. We are seeing the rise of rights being curtailed. We are seeing our government taking advantage of our rights in the name of they are protecting the country, but they are killing us. So we love you, all of you, to stand with us. And as I close for the minutes I've left, I'll request on behalf of the women who have been killed, on behalf of the comrades who were murdered, we just stand, we give a moment of silence to acknowledge that their lives matters. To acknowledge it can be any of us, but we need to prevent. Thank you so much. Viva, comrades, viva. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. We celebrate you. Makofi out tafadhali. Authentic solidarity. That is what we need, ladies and gentlemen. Authentic. Very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, we want to appreciate past awardees, and I'd kindly request that the past Human Rights Defenders Awards winners who are present, please stand up so that we can celebrate you. All the winners, please stand up, wherever you are. Oh, a big round of applause. Well done. Well done. Why don't you just greet them if you're close to them? Greet them and tell them well done. Thank you so much, you made it. Thank you so much. We celebrate you, we celebrate you. You may kindly take your seats. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, 38 minutes past the hour. We'll give 2 minutes. We have 2 winners, 2023. 2 minutes, please. I'll have a timer here. Once you hear the clock ticking, please know that you have about 30 seconds left. We'll start with the winner of the Human Rights Defenders of the year 2023, Ekale Epakan. Okwapinjo. Good to see you, sir. Well done. 2 minutes. Once you start talking, your 2 minutes will be set. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Amandla. Amandla. All protocol observed. My name is Ekale Epakan from Turkana County. I'm an award winner 2023. And I wouldn't take my time and repeat again what I submitted. Those books you have, how the award has impacted my work. But allow me to say that Defenders Coalition has significantly impacted and changed the lives of the people not only in Kenya, but beyond. Some of us who are working to strengthen the cross-border cooperation, taking our advocacies to other countries, we always say we have a superpower behind us, and there's nothing to fear. I always think if we had a genuine media interested in reporting the stories, Defenders Coalition could be consistently on the end line. Aluta continue Defenders Coalition, and power to you, comrades.
Well done. Well done. A big round of applause once again. Thank you so much for your leadership. Up next, ladies and gentlemen,
He is a distinguished advocate for human rights and a celebrated judicial officer. His prolific career spans roles such as Executive Director of ICJ Kenya, trainer in human rights and leader in governance projects, making him a beacon of hope for equitable justice. Driven by a passion for law and societal change, he continues to inspire through his expertise and dedication to advancing justice and human rights both locally and internationally. Please welcome the High Court Judge in Nakuru, Honorable Justice Mohochi Samuel Mukira.
Good afternoon, everyone. Comrade Power. I'm very excited to be before you today. For those who might not be aware, in October or December 2007, no, October, November, we convened in Entebbe. I think we were a few Kenyans. I think we were like 3 Kenyans. I can't see the rest who are there, but it was in Entebbe that we committed to create the to create the Eastern Horn of Africa Human Rights Defenders Network. And we developed a roadmap or a plan of action, which plan of action gave rise to the Defenders Coalition in December 2007, at the height of the elections. Your Excellency, the Ambassador, Mr. Stefan Schonman, I hope I pronounce it correctly, the Ambassador, Royal Danish Embassy in Kenya, and the co-chair of the EU Working Group on Human Rights Defenders, the Excellencies, Ambassadors present, the members of Diplomatic Corps present, the Executive Coordinator, Mr. Kamau Ngugi, for the Defenders Coalition, the board members of the Defenders Coalition present, and the comrade human rights defenders present, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am very humbled to be standing before you for a number of reasons. One, human rights work is thankless. So I was a human rights activist, directly engaging with victims for almost 20 years. to the best of my recollection, I was only told thank you twice. I am a judge now in another thankless job. So yesterday I was in a training of judges, and I was chairing a session. And I recall telling the judges to clap for me very hard, because we never get the occasion to be clapped for. And I also encourage them to clap for each other, such that when you leave that forum, you'll at least have received some claps. Yeah? So I'm humbled for the honor and the invitation to grace this occasion as the chief guest. I am happy to be with all crusaders. I regard human rights defenders as crusaders. I learned this from Willy Mutunga. If he was here, he would have told you how this reasoning comes. So today I can see many people. All of them are human rights defenders. And I'll remind you that we have human rights defenders in the National Police Service. We have human rights defenders in all spheres of life. So always be alive to that fact. We have been building a movement of crusaders systematically, slowly but surely. The unprecedented events of 2024, to me, is the manifestation of the investment of building the crusaders for human rights. We have come of age. The Gen Z movement was that manifestation. A few of us here would recall the intense discussions that we had in December 2007. I can see a few people who were there when we were trying to come up with the Defenders Coalition. And the nature, just if I was to be very specific, the nature of the membership was a sticking point. I was amongst the few people who stood my ground and said, we have privileged people who work for established organizations, and they receive some relative cover of protection, either because of the credibility or the profiles of the institutions they represent. But we have very committed and determined human rights defenders who dedicate their lives to human rights work in villages across the country with no institutional identity to provide any cover to them. So we had to come up with a hybrid membership where we would acknowledge those who are in well-known institutions or the institutions themselves, but we should be free to open our doors to all human rights defenders who are engaging in their work in peaceful way. So the hybrid membership was a unique feature, and I think I stand here vindicated when I see we have human rights defenders from as far as Turkana. We need to celebrate how far we have come. The Defenders Coalition has occupied its unique mandate and continues to offer a critical support to human rights defenders. If you'll allow me to talk about this, we are not politicians. Judges are not politicians. And we are members of the society, so we are with you. We see what is happening. So in June this year, we had an individual who happens to have come from human rights world. The Defenders Coalition actually did host him. We gave him a small room in our office when we had nothing. We had 2 rooms, we gave him 1. Mr. Kamau, you will agree with me. He's a gentleman we know very well. He's now a senior government official. He's the principal secretary for the Foreign Affairs. July 18th this year, he sought from Ford Foundation explanation on funding of organizations. I saw the letter and I saw the Defenders Coalition. I was very happy. the Defenders Coalition had come of age to get that unique recognition. The Ford Foundation was expected to explain some expedited funding amounting to $257,000. To me, the coalition was being accused of instigating mass demonstrations. To me, this was an acknowledgement of the relevancy and the critical work it continues to undertake. I also stand before you wearing a number of different hats. So I've told you I was a founder of this coalition. I'm happy it's grown and it's doing well. I was also its chairman for 7 years, up to December 2014. So in the formative stages, and it's not easy to build. I currently serve as a member of the executive committee of the World Movement Against Torture, World Organizations Against Torture, OMCT. And this is an organization that has over 200 members, institutions across the world, spread in 90 countries. This institution has also been running at the global scale, Human Rights Defenders Protection, and I think they work closely with the Defenders Coalition. So I bring those greetings from the OMCT. And I also serve as a judge of the High Court. I stand before you here representing the High Court of Kenya and the judiciary. So the leadership of the judiciary is fully aware that I am in this forum. So when I received the invite to undertake some introspection on the unprecedented socio-political and economic developments in Kenya, I had to reflect on geopolitical developments globally and its impact on the local human rights landscape. The implication of the 4-year Trump presidency on the international human rights framework, the international human rights system, and the human rights defenders, especially from the least developing and the developed countries. Why did I have to think about this? I thought about it because we are constantly facing challenges. In June this year, June 25th to be specific, while attending an OMCT physical board meeting in Geneva, I was seated next to the Minister for Justice for Poland, Mr. Adam Bodnar. So when the news broke out of the events in Nairobi, everyone was shocked at the scale of the demonstrations that were not only limited to Nairobi, but to 34 other counties. Mr. Adam Bodnar, who was visibly alarmed, asked me if I would be traveling back to Kenya under the circumstances the next day. And I smiled at him and I told him, in Kenya we have our own problems and we have our own solutions. I'm mentioning this because we have members of the diplomatic corps here. A lot of investment has been done on building a critical mass and human rights defenders. A lot of experience and expertise exists in the people you see here. So I was optimistic that however alarming the situation looked, I will be coming back to Kenya immediately. I was not worried. In fact, I told him that Kenya is a unique country. We have our peculiar problems, and we are capable of resolving our problems. That my presence in Kenya was more necessary than ever before. The assumption was that I might consider prolonging my stay, or alternatively seek for asylum. All I can say is that human rights movements are weakened when human rights defenders flee their country to seek refuge and safety elsewhere. And the said response should be the last resort on objective assessment. Back to the High Court, which to me is the most powerful of the superior courts, being the citadel for protection and promotion of transformational constitution, as the court of original jurisdiction on matters of human rights, where constitutional jurisprudence sprouts and germinates to either be confirmed on appeal or set aside. So everything starts in the High Court. We derive our jurisdiction from Article 165, which establishes the High Court, and Article 165, Sub-Article 5, which confers unlimited original jurisdiction in criminal and civil matters. The High Court equally has the jurisdiction to determine the question as to whether a right or a fundamental right has been or is being denied, violated, infringed, or threatened. Another unique feature is that it is in the High Court that you would move seeking to enforce your socio-economic rights. Furthermore, the High Court has jurisdiction to hear appeals from tribunals appointed to consider removal of a person from office, including the removal of a president, not just the deputy president. In addition, this court has jurisdiction to hear any question with respect to interpretation of the Constitution, including the determination of the question whether the law is inconsistent with or in contravention to the Constitution, or two, the question whether anything said to be done under the authority of the Constitution or the law is inconsistent with or in contravention to the Constitution. We are in a regime of justification. We are in a regime of justification. The Constitution of Kenya demands justification for everything. So nobody can take decisions that are without justification. And any citizen can move the court to question that. This court equally has jurisdiction to hear matters relating to constitutional powers of state organs in respect to county governments and any matter relating to the constitutional relationships between the levels of government. Why do I take time to go there? Because you might not be aware, but this year, for the very first time, the High Court of Kenya is holding an inaugural 2024 Annual Human Rights Summit. We shall compete with you people. We will be competing on human rights. Yeah? So to those who it might sound confusing, the High Court is doing this for the very first time this year. Our theme is upholding human rights in Kenya with two broad sub-themes: justice for all, expanding access to justice in a changing Kenya, and navigating the digital divide. The summit will be held in Nairobi between the 10th and the 11th of December. And ahead of this summit, we have had judges of the High Court interacting with members of the public and interacting with students from institutions of higher learning on these subjects. We want to be better understood. We are not politicians. We do not conceptualize the cases we hear. We do not choose the cases we hear. So when we decide on the basis of evidence and facts and the case that is presented. So the High Court seeks to claim its place as a protector and the promoter of human rights. You'll agree with me, you have come a long way. For those who started the advocacy work, they know the judiciary we had. So for the judiciary even to be organizing a human rights summit, we need a clap for that. It is also important to talk about a few remarkable changes and developments in the High Court and how human rights defenders may leverage to access justice. Number one, please try to get legal representation. Litigating before the Constitutional Court is not a walk in the park. So if you see Omtata doing it, don't think you can become Omtata. It is very sad to witness a very determined human rights defender, very determined, genuinely determined, attempting to prosecute his own petition. And at times you might end up thinking that the court is hostile to this person. We don't have time. So try to get an advocate. That's number one. Number two, make very exhaustive disclosures upfront. Yeah? Make disclosures in your pleadings, exhaustive. Number three, avoid forum shopping. All the judges of the High Court are fully aware of their jurisdiction. The High Court of Kenya is a human rights court. That will never disappear, and all the judges are aware of this. So you don't do any forum shopping. Don't file matters deliberately in courts you imagine has judges that will treat your case more favorably. Number four, very important, don't crowd a petition. I did receive a petition before me. It had 24 respondents, and it had 42 interested parties. I have to hear everyone. They might come, each one of them, with advocates. So if you are the instigator of that petition and that is what you have done, then you are also expected to, with precision, you are expected to show the correlation between all these respondents and the transgressions that they have committed. And at times that becomes foggy. So to be careful not to overcrowd your petitions with respondents and interested parties. And ensure you have exhausted all, or you have exhausted any or all other existing mechanisms provided for in the law. The reason I say this is, in ever as much as Kenya we are facing the challenges we face, everybody, majority of the people believe that the only place you can go to resolve your issues is the High Court. And at times people rush to the High Court when there exists mechanisms that have yet to be exhausted. And when that happens, your case starts on the wrong footing, with high chances that the same might be dismissed. Because we also apply the principles of the doctrine of exhaustion. If an objection is raised that you had a forum to go to and you didn't go to it, then I need to understand why didn't you go to that forum? Number 6. We are operating a no adjournment policy. So you need to know this as activists. All files must have hearing dates. That is an important aspect for the human rights defenders who are determined to have their cases heard and concluded. And finally, for those who might be aware, judicial review, cases must be heard and concluded in 6 months. So if you bring a judicial review application before the court, there'll be those who will be trying to drag the matter or delay, but just know that timelines are strictly kept now. Yeah? As you might have heard, I am from the trenches as an activist. So there's nothing that I don't know that relates to bare knuckle activism. Yeah? This is a risky job. Yeah? And I am now sitting as a judge, receiving applications for adjudication from human rights defenders, some of who have legal representation, others acting in person. So I've already told you about my unfortunate observation. Another observation I make is there are many reasons why people go to court. even amongst the human rights defenders, I'll say this because part of my experience is betrayal. So you spend 30 hours preparing a case, and you have 2 or 3 human rights defenders who are the face of the case. And as soon as you are filed, maybe a week later, they are compromised, they are bribed. And when they withdraw, you remain without a client. Yeah? So that is something that I am alive to. Another issue that occurs, which is secondary, is in constitutional petitions, we have powers to issue conservatory orders. Now, these are temporary. These are temporary orders. They are orders to be issued for a purpose. They are not an end in themselves. But what we are seeing more and more is vicious fights taking place around those interlocutory orders being sought. There are those who will want to come and steal a match to obtain orders which they can hang on to. Orders that then can be used for extraneous negotiations. So what we try to do is to hear you on the substantive petition. And an interesting observation is that even when you tell these parties that you want to hear them on the substantive petition, they are not interested. Or a party tells you that if you don't grant the conservatory orders, the entire petition will be rendered negatory. What does that mean? It means then there was no case in the first place, because the interlocutory motions are all hinged on the petition. So if you start telling the judge that if you don't give this order, the petition, it's a waste of our time to hear the petition, then it means there is no case. So let's be careful as human rights defenders when utilizing some of these facilities. I am humbled and very happy to observe that the EU missions in Kenya have embraced and sustained the operationalization of the EU guidelines for human rights defenders. These are 2008 guidelines, which is the primary interface between the Union and its members and human rights defenders on the ground. You therefore have a very important role to play in putting in practice the EU policy towards human rights defenders. I commend your proactive policy towards human rights defenders, and the hosting of this event consistently for 9 years is a manifestation of this solid and genuine partnership between the human rights defenders in Kenya and the EU missions in Kenya. We shall remain always indebted of this. I am aware of the constant consultations with the Kenya human rights defenders in relation to the actions which might be contemplated and initiated to strengthen the human rights protection mechanisms. And I do commend the continued particular attention to women human rights defenders, sexual minority groups, defenders from the grassroots, and the collaborative development and monitoring of local strategies for implementing the EU guidelines. I am aware of the seamless coordination and sharing of information on human rights defenders, including those at risk. And I am aware that the National Coalition on Human Rights Defenders maintains a database of human rights defenders who have been received in the missions and have been visited in their areas of work. This initiative of recognizing and distinguishing human rights defenders provides visibility for human rights defenders and acts to mitigate on the threats and the risks they face. Just briefly to share my personal experience as a human rights defender. As I stand before you, I have 2 active death threats against me. And that has been the prevailing scenario since 2009-2011. I reported to the police, so I followed all protocols. Ever since, no update on the investigations has been availed to me. I thus treat the threat to my life as active. I would urge defenders to mitigate risks by constantly deploying and putting to use security plans, starting from the individual, to moderate their social media activities to avoid profiling and tracking, documenting all and any security incidents, and spreading risks amongst colleagues as opposed to Lone Ranger tactics, fronting of a solo image. We should reduce exposure to risk. Human rights work revolved on solidarity and collective action, and the contemporary defenders must be willing to learn from the feet of those that came before them. We have defenders flowing from repressive regimes, Kenyatta and Moi, and a wealth of rich practical experience that may enrich current engagements. So for the Gen Zs, I did address a gathering of Gen Zs at Wangare Maathai Auditorium 2 months ago, and I told them the same thing. They should be willing to learn on the feet of those that came before them. Last but not least, I commend all the nominees and the winners of the various Human Rights Defenders Award 2024. I urge you to utilize the nominations and the awards to amplify the dire situation on subjects such as enforced disappearance, what is being now called abductions, torture, extrajudicial killings, and summary executions. There has been talk of the stealth silence by the courts on these subjects. And this is because the court is not a party to disputes. The court does not choose the cases it hears, and the court receives cases from litigants to adjudicate. I urge defenders to escalate utilization of all existing mechanisms, with litigation being their ultimate strategy to access justice. No death should occur without perpetrators being brought to book. Your work is well laid out. We have equally witnessed something from where I sit, Kenya being reclassified into the grey list by the Financial Action Task Force, which means the situation of combating money laundering, terrorism, finance, illicit financial flows has deteriorated with no genuine attempt to combat the same. And I also do observe that the legislative attempts at crafting laws that further seek to curtail fundamental rights is telling, and an issue to remain alive to. The long, winding process of operationalization of the PBO Act is equally telling, and an issue I would recommend further scrutiny. As for the Coalition Secretariat, the panel of judges of the 9th Human Rights Defenders Award, I thank you for your continued unwavering support that has ensured the human rights defenders have and continue to receive much sought support when faced with threats and risks, and proactively building on their capacities to mitigate the same. Finally, to all our bilateral partners, Kenya is and remains a unique country with unrivaled human capacity on matters human rights. I urge you to continue finding favor to support human rights and good governance in Kenya. I am aware that your strategies are influenced by your own domestic politics. The support required in Kenya is minimal, in my estimation, but should be maintained, lest all the gains made here in 40 years in the human rights landscape be exposed to loss. We cannot afford to retrogress back to authoritarianism, which must be resisted by all and sundry. I'm equally aware of the long tradition of rotating the core working group chairship, so I wish the new chair fruitful co-chairing and impactful for the 2025 year. I thank you all and wish you a happy festive season and prosperous new year 2025. God bless Kenya.
Wow. Thank you so much. Another beautiful round of applause, please. Asante sana. Give me sound. This is the moment we've been waiting for. We are ready, ladies and gentlemen, for the awards announcements. The nominees are here, and only one can be recognized as the winner. And so we kick off, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. To give us a special mention in terms of the citations, I'd kindly call upon a member of the planning committee Gilbert, not Gilbert, but Ramadhan Rajab. Ramadhan, makofi ya Rajab tafadhali, njoo. Utupe uhondo kidogo, alafu tuanze. Welcome.
Viva, comrade, viva. So I'll members of the planning committee, wherever you are, just stand up and wave. The planning committee, just wave wherever you are. Thank you. On behalf of the planning committee, I have a special citation to the following people. So the planning committee recognizes human rights advocates who have braved the dangers of human rights struggle and have walked the path alone. Particularly, the planning committee recognizes human rights defender Julius Kamau. We call him a one-man army. Thanks, Julius. Today we won't arrest you. You are in safe hands. The second citation goes to Larry Mado. We honor him for his bravery in amplifying the voices of the marginalized Kenyans and holding government accountable in 2024. Despite threats, bullying, he fearlessly reported on police brutality, floods, and systematic failures, exemplifying exceptional journalism and dedication to justice. He brought the Kenyan story to the global stage. In his absentia, we can clap for him. Last but not last, we honor Catherine Wanjeri Karaoke for her courage and resilience in the face of grave danger while covering protests in Nakuru against the proposed tax hikes. She was targeted and shot at 3 times, despite having a press vest. Her bravery underscores the immense risks journalists endure to inform the public. In her absentia as well, we can just clap for her. And with those many citations, we close at that for the next program.
Asante sana. Makofi tafadhali. Give me sound, please. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready. Asante sana, Bwana Ramadhan Rajab. I'd kindly call upon, at this particular moment, the chairperson of the jury panel, makofi yake tafadhali njoo, together with Bwana Kamau Ngugi, to the stage for the first category. Ladies and gentlemen, ready. We'll start with the first category. Upcoming HRD of the Year Award. And to guide us through that, the jury representatives Grace Lolim and Andrew Maina. Njoni tafadhali. A big round of applause for them. On stage. And now the nominees, ladies and gentlemen. Volume, please.
Category 1. Upcoming Human Rights Defenders of the Year nominees. Ekale Epakan, a passionate climate and social justice advocate from Turkana County, and has become a beacon of hope and change, inspiring his community and strengthening networks through his impactful human rights work. Recognized as a change maker, he continues to empower others, championing inclusivity and resilience with a vision of a better and safer Kenya for future generations. Rosaline Njoki Nyaga is a fearless advocate for women and girls with disabilities in Trans Nzoia County, leading groundbreaking efforts to promote education, healthcare, and protection against gender-based violence. Through her leadership and innovative use of social media, she has inspired change, mobilized communities, and broken barriers to create a more inclusive society. Ross Alwala, a visionary mental health advocate and social entrepreneur from Kisumu County, is transforming mental health care in Kenya through her initiative Train Your Brain, which leverages AI technology to make therapy accessible and affordable for underserved communities. Fueled by personal experiences and a deep commitment to breaking stigma, she has reached over 1,500 individuals, facilitated affordable therapy for 100 youth, and championed critical policy reforms. Abdifatah Sirat Siraji, a passionate advocate for social justice and digital inclusion, is transforming lives in northern Kenya by addressing the critical challenges faced by marginalized and pastoralist communities, including access to legal identification and basic services. Through his organization Generation Nomad and partnerships with key institutions, he empowers individuals to claim their rights, bridges the digital divide, and promotes peace and gender equality, all while remaining resilient in the face of personal risks and resistance.
Ladies and gentlemen, category 1, we are ready. The jury, it's now your turn.
And the winner is, round of applause, Rose Awala.
Wow.
Yeah, the jury recognized Rose Awala as an exemplary contribution towards the promotion and protection of mental health rights in Kisumu County and beyond. And her work has really impacted the role of the human rights defenders on protecting the rights of the people who undergo suicide. So she discriminalized the suicide and saw her petition going to the parliament. Thank you.
And at this particular moment, I'd kindly call upon the British High Commissioner, His Excellency Neil Wigan, to please come forward. A big round of applause. Welcome, welcome. As we take that photo together, give me sound, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We may now exit the stage through this particular passageway. But before that, we'll give our winner 1 minute, an acknowledgement speech, Ross. acknowledgement speech. Asante. And a big round of applause to the nominees. Thank you so much. We appreciate your work. Keep going, keep growing, keep impacting. Asante san. Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, an acceptance speech from the winner. Karibu sana. Talk to us. 1 minute, please. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm deeply honored and humbled. This award means so much to me. I've had a very tough year. I lost my uncle to cancer this year, and so I would like to dedicate this award to him and to all my uncles and aunties and family members who have come before me for inspiring me, especially my late aunt Benedetta Alwala. In this particular moment, I would just like to remind us all as human rights defenders and echo the words of my late uncle who said, we do the right thing, not because other people are doing it. We do the right thing because it's the right thing. So viva, comrades, viva, and thank you, Defenders Coalition.
Wow. Do the right thing because it's the right thing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Up next. Next category, I'd kindly call Commander Musheke, please come forward. Commander Musheke, please come forward. We're ready for the nominees. Once you hear your name, please come forward as we celebrate you. All right. We'll now focus on the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Category 3 Munir Mazrui Lifetime Achievement Award nominees. Bena Buluma, known as Mama Victor, turned her immense personal tragedy into a powerful fight for justice, advocating for victims of extrajudicial killings and empowering mothers who have lost children to violence. Her resilience and unwavering commitment to human rights continue to inspire others to stand up for justice in a better, more equitable society. Karen Kiaria's relentless dedication to social justice has empowered countless survivors of sexual and gender-based violence while advocating for systemic change in her community. Despite facing threats and setbacks, her unwavering commitment to human rights continues to inspire and create lasting change for vulnerable populations in Kisumu County.
And now the winner.
The loss of her two sons through police extrajudicial killing was a devastating blow to her life. Determined to seek justice, she joined the Mathare Social Justice Center, a community of like-minded individuals who shared her passion for human rights and social justice. Recognizing the power of collective action, she also founded the Mothers of Victims and Survivors Network, which brought together mothers who had lost their children also through extrajudicial killings. It provided a platform for shared grief, mutual support, and collective advocacy to end the vice. Her resilience and commitment was and remains an inspiration to all. Tragically, the awardee's life was cut short by the devastating floods that ravaged the country early this year. But her legacy lives on, and she shall forever remain a beacon of hope in defense of human rights and social justice. Ladies and gentlemen, good people, the winner of this year's Munir Mazrui Lifetime Achievement Award is the late comrade Bena Buluma, affectionately known as Mama Victor.
Well done. And I'd kindly request the UN Resident Coordinator, Dr. Stephen Jackson, to come present the award to the category winner. Thank you so much, Dr. Stephen. Thank you so much. 1 minute, but in the meantime, comrades from Mathare Mukwapi. Comrades, come. This is your moment. Come. Comrades from Mathare, Johnny. John. Comrades Mukwapi. Hey, siku yenu. Well done. Bro, tuzungumzie. Your message.
Viva comrades, viva. Viva comrades, viva. All the social justice comrades, naomba mje hapa. Naomba. On 24th of April this year, we lost Mama Victor to the floods in Mathare. Mama Victor had lost her 2 sons to police brutality in Mathare. Mama Victor had lost her daughter because of medical negligence in Mathare. Viva comrades, viva.
Viva.
But Mama Victor remained resilient and started fighting for other women through the movement called Mothers of Victims and Survivors Networks. Viva Mothers, viva! Viva! The fight for social justice, the fight against extrajudicial killings, the fight against abductions, the fight against kidnappings, the fight against people living with dignity must continue because Mama Victor lived with us. Viva comrades, viva. Viva. We shall not relent. Viva comrades, viva. Viva. We shall not relent. We shall not relent. Until we end extrajudicial killings, enforced disappearances, kidnappings, abductions, and police abuse of power, femicide, and people dying because of where they live. Viva comrades, viva. Viva. So today, we honor Mama Victor. Ni shujaa Buluma e. Ni shujaa Buluma wetu. Ni shujaa Mama Victor we. Ni shujaa Mama Victor wetu. Ndio maana tunasema ni shujaa. Ndio maana tunasema ni shujaa. Ni mshindi Mama Victor we. Ni mshindi Mama Victor wetu. Ndio maana tunasema ni mshindi. Ndio maana viva Mama Victor, viva! Viva! Down with the extrajudicial killings, down! Down! Down with femicide, down! Down! Down with police abuse of power, down! Down! Forward with organizing, forward! Forward! Forward with women organizing, forward! Forward! Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Asante sana DJ. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Give me sound, please. Thank you. Third category, ladies and gentlemen. The Global Solidarity Award. Jury member, Ikal Angele, please come forward. Makofi yake tafadhali. Big round of applause.
Category 4 Global Solidarity Award nominees. Mehdi Hassan's fearless pursuit of justice has made him a powerful advocate for human rights, using his platform as a journalist to highlight marginalized communities and global humanitarian crises. Through his work, including his role in launching Zitio, he calls for accountability and a deeper understanding of the historical context shaping contemporary geopolitical issues. Excellency Monsignor Bert van Megen's bold call for systemic change during Kenya's June 25th protests amplified the voices of youth demanding justice and reform, urging the government to respond to their needs. As the Pope's representative, he reinforced the Church's duty to advocate for the vulnerable and speak out against injustice, despite facing controversy for his outspoken stance.
All right. The winner.
At a time when we see the continued push for extraction from the global south, from where communities are producing and reproduction areas are being continues to be violated, we see the continued silos of our struggles. The starvation of women and children in Palestine, in the Congo, in Sudan, in Myanmar, is a struggle that we recognize in our homes in Kenya. This particular nominee links the crisis to broader themes like colonialism, imperialism, extraction, violation of women. The food sovereignty and seed struggle that we continue to see, as many in Kenya are currently in the courts fighting for food sovereignty as we fight against the GMO penetration in our country. Before I go on, I want to recognize ordinary people, especially young women, fighting to end femicide, because we see what's going on in the Sudan, where 500 women have to kill themselves to avoid being raped. So let's recognize the young women across the country, in villages, in sub-counties, counties across the country, who are not, the media is not covering their struggle, but they're the ones who are contributing to the statistics that the president is mentioning now. So to recognize the nominee, give this award to Mehdi Hassan for his continued struggle. Because he's pushing for human rights, free speech, and forcing accountability and calling out the people in power. He basically is speaking to what today's Day of Women Human Rights Defenders, where he's saying, where his practices, as you try to push for the same point across, you don't have to pull others down. So in all his arguments, he's not trying to pull anybody down. And so for all comrades here, as you try and push the same agenda, as we push to end femicide, we don't have to pull each other down, especially today and the Women Human Rights Day. Thank you very much. Looking for I hope that Larry would be here to recognize it, because the journalists are telling our stories. The journalists are going to spaces and using their platforms to really push power. So we have to recognize the role of journalists. And I was hoping that there was a journalist here. I don't want to do this. You're a journalist.
All right. This award will be received by our MC, who is also a journalist.
I'll kindly call upon Embassy of Germany, Ambassador His Excellency Sebastian Groth. Please come forward. Australian High Commissioner, please come forward. A big round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sound please. It's the final category, but one more will be coming after that. So hold. Ladies and gentlemen, this the Human Rights Defenders of the Year Award.
Category 2 Human Rights Defenders of the Year nominees. Noor Bashir Shuria is a relentless human rights advocate whose decade-long fight for justice in Garissa County has transformed lives through his fearless commitment to documenting, reporting and addressing injustices like extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances. Driven by compassion and armed with expertise in community development, Noor has empowered communities, secured legal victories for survivors of gender-based violence and championed the rights of marginalized groups, proving that resilience and purpose can ignite hope even in the face of immense challenges. Jackson Kuria, popularly known as Kopro Shakur, defied the odds by championing human rights and good governance during the Finance Bill 2024 protests, even risking his job as a prison officer. His courage and resilience in the face of persecution inspire others to stand firm for justice, accountability and the protection of fundamental freedoms for all. Hussein Khalid, a fearless advocate and human rights defender, has spent over 25 years championing justice, equality and fundamental freedoms in Kenya and beyond, even in the face of intimidation and threats. As the founder of Haki Africa and CEO of Vocal Africa, his relentless dedication to exposing injustices, advocating for victims and building Pan-African movements continues to inspire a vision for a more just and equitable world. Boniface Mwangi is a fearless activist who has dedicated his life to fighting social injustice, corruption and bad governance, inspiring Kenyans to demand accountability and better leadership. Through initiatives like Picha Mtaani and Power 254, he has used art, activism and advocacy to spark dialogue, promote healing and build a powerful movement for justice, equity and freedom. Hanifa Safia is a fearless advocate for justice whose dedication to human rights has led to impactful victories, including addressing systemic injustices and supporting vulnerable communities. Her unwavering commitment and ability to inspire young people make her a powerful symbol of hope and a driving force for a more equitable society.
Thank you so much. As a judging panel, we have the power to decide, and I hope nobody will take us to Supreme Court, if awards can be shared, if movements can be awarded, if organization can be awarded, and that's the power that we have. And for this particular award, which is one of the biggest awards, first we'd like to congratulate all the nominees for the amazing work you all do, for being consistent this year, despite many fires. Would like also to encourage you to continue doing the human rights work that you continue to do. And in this case, for this award, it has demonstrated what young women, individuals, and activists can resource public money and account for it. This particular award, it has shown what it means for civic engagement, where people resource their own movements and sustain them. Drum rolls. So for this particular award is shared by 3 amazing comrades or activists, and the award goes to, let me stand here, to Hanifa Sifa, to Boniface Mwangi, to Hussein Khalid. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And to help us give the awards, I kindly call upon our host ambassador, His Excellency Stefan. A big round of applause for him. We also have Diakumba Gassama, Program Officer at the William and Flora Hewlett Foundation, and His Excellency Gunnar Andreas, Ambassador, Embassy of Norway. Please come forward to help us give the awards. DJ Tunde.
want to invite, I think we need to have some. Oh, Ambassador has already given the award to Boniface Mwangi. Maybe we need a photo, Ambassador, and first of all, by Boniface Mwangi. Your Ambassador, there, right there. Thank you very much. Don't go away, but stay aside a little bit. Let me invite Hanifa and Diakuba. Diakuba will give the award. And then we'll invite Ambassador Ghana to recognize Halid Hussein. And now we invite all the winners and the ambassadors for one group photo.
Well done, well done. And in the meantime, the winners, prepare your 1 minute acceptance speeches. Well done, well done. Makofi out tafadhali, well done, thank you so much. Okay, let's start. The winners, Hanif, njoo tafadhali, dakika moja tafadhali. 1 minute, go ahead.
Viva, comrades, viva. This is such an honor, and my 4th award this year, and as usual, I'm dedicating this to every one of our comrades who lost their lives fighting for a better country, for a better Kenya, and it wasn't in vain, it will never be in vain. And I would also, I'm so glad Mama Victor was awarded. Mama Victor was a phenomenal woman. I looked up to her. I had the honor of writing her story after she passed on, and I'm so honored to have shared such a platform with her or anything. So please, never give up. Aluta continua. Thank you.
Viva, comrades, viva! Viva! I think for me, I'm really shocked by this, but when I look back, I think it's because of the so many days and sleepless nights we spent doing postmortems, autopsies for the comrades who passed away. So for my 1 minute, I would like to request each and every one of us to please stand up for a moment of silence for the 61 comrades who we lost in the course of the year while fighting for a better Kenya. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Coalition. Thank you all the heads of missions for this. Appreciate it.
Nyatwa say, ayo mama, ayo mama, Nazakayo asikie, mapinduzi yaja Kenya. Comrades power! Comrades power! Hey! Hey! Lazima anguke. The struggle continues.
Thank you so much. Makofi out tafadhali. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Well done. We say thank you so much for your time. It is now the final. This is called the Popular Award. So get your phones, everybody. Popular vote, popular award. Get your phones. We'll scan a QR code. Go to live.voxvote.com. live.voxvote.com. Once you get there, we'll have a code. You'll be asked for a code. The code is 157019. So go to live.voxvote.com. live.voxvote.com, live.voxvote.com. Once you're asked for a code, the code is 157019. Then you vote. We'll have less than 5 minutes for this. QR code on the screen. In a moment. That code again. 157019. Ah, it's the popular vote. No campaigning, it's the popular vote. 157019, live.voxvote.com. Okay. Hold.
Hey, as you vote, if you can vote but never got an award, any one of them. So, keep going.
The vote. We are all change ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen. The winners are our role models. Two minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. We're closing. Lisa Gem will announce the popular award winner. Are you ready? Excellent. The results. 1 more minute. Please avail the results in 1 minute. We'll close in 1 minute. We'll close. Just a moment. Ati? Wewe bana, atifanyi kazi? What's up bana? What do you vote? Okay. Okay. Unasema the server is down. Okay, wanashughulikia. Are we good? It's now good. Okay, it's now good. So we'll give you 2 more minutes. Let's have it on the screen. Do we have the code? Let's have the code once again. Total transparency here, ladies and gentlemen. Bado. Weka code kwenye screen. Where is the code? Let's have the code on the screen. All right, this is the code. Ndio hiyo sasa. So you have the code. 157019. 157019. Live.voxvote.com. Live.voxvote.com.
Okay.
2 minutes over. We're good? Working? Good? We're closing? Fantastic. Okay. Do we have the awards? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Lisa Game, a 12-year-old girl, and I'm a child rights defender. The winner of the 2022 upcoming Human Rights Defender. And I'm here to announce the results. Are you ready? Yes. Are you really ready? Yes. The award goes to Jackson Kuria.
Big round of applause to the host, Ambassador. Wow, wow, wow. Boom! And a big round of applause to Lisa. Well done. And by the way, Lisa, please come, be part of this photo as well. Come on, a big round of applause to Lisa. Well done, well done. Come on, Lisa. Celebrate you. Well done, well done. Come on. DJ, tuangushie moja mzuri. Asante sana, thank you so much. Asante DJ.
All protocols observed. Thank you everybody. This award means so much to me, and I want to dedicate it to my father who traveled for 500 kilometers to come and celebrate me. Thank you everyone.
Wow, makofi tafadhali. Well done my brother. Keep it up. Okay, and to close for us, just as we started, a big round of applause to Bwana Kamau Ngugi. Makofi yake tafadhali.
Now, we were given some tips on how to keep time. But what happens is every time we try to observe time, we never make it because there's so much to celebrate and there's so much to be happy and to be proud of the work that has been done. But for the first time today, we actually have more minutes to spare. We are ahead of the program, which is quite amazing. So please allow me to thank each one of you. But having said that, please allow me to invite our host ambassador here, and of course our jury chairperson, because it's time to recognize everybody. If I try to say who and who, I might fail, but the ambassador has never failed us in terms of recognizing the people. Please come over and let's recognize the people.
Well, I think I said it a couple of hours ago. This is an amazing view. It's wonderful to have you here. Kamau and team, Rachel, fellow members of the committee, colleagues from the diplomatic corps, but first and foremost, human rights defenders present here today. Thank you for coming. Yeah. It's been a great couple of hours. Congratulations to the winners. You represent the people of Kenya in an outstanding and very, very important way. I think I'm almost the one keeping you from the party over here. So let's wrap it up very, very soon. Once again, thank you for being here. Thank you for doing what you do every day, because it's important and because you make a difference for the people of Kenya. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much indeed. And now for the vote of thanks, and then immediately after that we'll have a group photo. Big round of applause to Bwana Joseph Kimani from the Embassy of Denmark to give us the vote of thanks, and then ready for the final photo session.
Viva Comrade, viva! Viva! Viva Comrade, viva! Viva! Thank you very much. My humble task is to just give a vote of thanks. Let me first of all start by thanking very much all the suppliers. Please wave the suppliers. Thank you for an excellent job. You've done an outstanding job. Thank you so much. Of course, I have to thank our Master of Ceremony, our MC, Makofi kwa MC. Excellence and efficiency are the hallmark of your service. Keep it up. I also want to thank a group of very special people, the planning committee. Once again, please wave wherever you are. The planning committee, you have worked very hard. Thank you very much for your service. I also want to thank a very special group of people, the Defenders Coalition. Defenders Coalition, all staff, please stand up wherever you are. You have your outstanding leader here, Kamau. Defenders Coalition, please wave wherever you are. Obino, I see you over there, please wave. Well done. Let's clap for them. For those of you who may not know, the Defenders Coalition are the brainchild of this particular award, and in all the planning, these are the people that spend 26 hours a day planning. Ndio maana tunasema shujaa, ndio maana tunasema ni shujaa. Well done. Keep it up. I also want to appreciate the jury once again. The jury, please. Thank you very much for your service. We really appreciate that, and it's an absolute privilege working with you. And then finally, our gracious host, Ambassador, thank you. And my colleagues, it is always an outstanding pleasure and privilege working with all of you. All the colleagues from the Danish Embassy, please stand and wave. Thank you very much. And last but not least, all of us for showing up, just to echo what our gracious host has said, thanking all of us for being here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Makofi kila mtu. Over to you, MC.
Asante sana. Big round of applause to Bwana Joseph. Thank you so much. All right, now, all the winners, please come forward. The chief guest, Makofi tafadhali to our chief guest. Please come forward. We are ready for our final photo. Chairperson of the jury, Bwana Kamau, njooni tafadhali, tunataka tupige picha ya mwisho. Njoo tafadhali. Let's have all the winners, the ambassadors present, led by the host ambassador. Other dignitaries, please come forward so that we take a group photo. Asante sana. In the meantime, Field Marshal muko wapi? Tuko tayari? Picha tafadhali. So I request that you come to the front. DJ, asante sana DJ. Would kindly request that you come to the front. Please come to the front. Jury tafadhali, jury please. The jury please come forward. The jury please come forward. In the meantime, remember we have an arts exhibition. We have FIDA Kenya. We have Defenders Coalition merchandise. And ladies and gentlemen, after this, please have fun, connect, network. Let's keep the impact and fire burning. Thank you so much for coming. All the best. All the best. Over to you, Field Marshal. Take it over, take it over, take it over. Get to connect, network, link up. All the best, all the best.
wazalendo we